Hello. So this is a Schofield 1877 single shot revolver. When I say single shot, I mean that you basically have to cock the hammer, pull the trigger, and then cock the hammer again to load the next shot. It's not just a bang bang type revolver. So it's a 6-shot one, so it fires 6 shots, but it's single action. That's probably what I should have said. So single action, 6-shot revolver. It's 12 gram c02. So obviously all fully legal and everything like that. And this fires 177 pellets. There's a selection there of 177s, and I have some more in my little drawer there, along with some c02. So I thought I'd do a little interesting video just to see the different penetration power of different types of pellets, because there are a hell of a lot of different types of pellets. A lot of people don't necessarily realize. People just think that you have your one type of pellet, which is usually this kind of thing. That's kind of your bog standard lead pellet, just your dome tipped lead pellet. But even on something like this, there's so many different types of just domed lead pellets. There's so many out there. So basically this video, I have a piece of wood up here. It's only soft. It's not massively strong or anything, but it's fairly thick. What I thought I'd do, there's a little hole there already because I just did a test shot. So what I thought I'd do is I would stick some targets along here, 6 of them, so we know which ones we've hit with which pellet. I will load the gun one at a time, and we'll fire 1 pellet, check the damage, then we'll fire another pellet, check the damage, and so on. So I have a selection of 6 pellets to try. The first one is, as you've already seen, your bog standard lead pellet. So that's just your bog standard one. The next one is basically a gimmick. This is a lead pellet with a plastic tip, and it's supposed to be glow in the dark. Quite why you would need that, I have no idea. It's basically a gimmick, like I said. The speed that this thing is going to be going at and the size that it is so small that I reckon even when it's pitch black, you wouldn't really be able to see that tip, even if you lit it up with a super bright torch. So that is basically just a gimmick. Not expecting that one to do too well. This one is a flat-tipped version of the first one. So bog standard lead pellet, no fancy business in it at all, just a flat tip. So it's probably going to be good for things like rats, because it's going to have quite a hard hit. Same sort of accuracy really, there's not going to be a lot in it if I'm honest. But again, it's a very common type of pellet. This next one, bit less common. So this is a Prometheus type pellet, and it's basically a nylon cap, or casing rather, and it's got a solid copper tip. So that there is solid copper on that one. Fairly fast because it's very light. It should have fairly good penetrating power because it's going so fast, but I doubt it would have much hitting impact power. So not sure what you would use that for in terms of hunting, but as a target pellet, I'm sure it's perfectly good. The next pellet is another Prometheus pellet. This one is basically the same as the copper one. It's a solid steel tip on this one instead of copper like the other one. So that's basically the same. And then this next pellet is the one I'm most interested in firing because I've not used one of these before. So this is a solid lead pellet with a brass tip, pointed brass tip, and the brass tip actually goes all the way through almost to the skirt part of the pellet. So this one should in theory be very good at penetrating because it's going to be going fast, it's going to have a lot of hitting power, and it's nice and aerodynamic as well. It's a pointed tip, so it's going to squeeze through nice and soft targets, things like, animals, rats and stuff like that, if that's what you're into. Me personally, I'm not. I don't like shooting animals. I just have fun with target practice and things like that, outdoors and also indoors, a little target practice set up there. But I suppose if you wanted to use this for hunting, then I'm sure it would be a great pellet for that kind of thing. So what I'll do, we'll load this one first, fire a shot at there, and we'll see what it's like. So I'm going to pause the video now, set up some targets, and then I'll restart and we'll go from there. Right, so there we are. The good thing about these little targets, they're stick-on, so you can stick them to pretty much anything that you want. And when the pellet or BB, whatever it is you're firing, hits them, it kind of breaks off this black coating and leaves like a nice big bright yellow dot. So you know exactly where you've hit. So they're actually quite good, these little pellets. There you go, look. That shows you what they do. So when you're firing and stuff, you know exactly where your shots are going. It's quite useful actually, especially if you're shooting through a scope at fairly long range and stuff. Saves you kind of getting up and walking however far down to your target to see if you hit what you're hitting. Right then, so here we go. We will load the first one in there. So first one is just the normal domed one. So we'll load that in, pop that in there, and we're ready to go. Okay, so this is going to be quite difficult because I'm going to have to hold the phone with one hand and shoot with the other, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, so I'm going to go for the far left target now, so we'll see if I can hit that with one hand. Okie dokie. That sounded like it went right the way through. I'm pretty sure you can see daylight behind that. So that sounded like it went right the way through. We'll try the next one now. And if that one went right the way through, then I expect all of the lead ones and the Prometheus ones should do exactly the same. This one, the little gimmicky one that I said about, this is probably the only one that I'm not so sure on. Only because of weight. But we'll soon find out. So, let's try this one. So, second target in from the right. We'll see what happens here. Okie dokie. That one also sounded like it went pretty much straight through, but you can see already, look, the whole difference. See what a difference that a pointed tip makes. That first one was just a domed tip, and a pointed tip on the second one, look, zip straight through. So we'll see in a minute at the back of the board what damage it's actually done. So next one, flat tip. This one is flat tipped lead pellet. So it's just your standard flat lead pellet. So if the domed one left quite a big hole, then this flat one probably will leave a bigger hole. So let's see if I'm right and have a look. Okay, so get comfortable. Next one. No, I didn't hear a ding behind that. There's a metal target behind that, and I did not hear a ding, so I have a feeling that may have not gone through. And if it did, it probably didn't have much power by the time it went through. But, as you can see, pointed tip, domed tip, flat tip. There is a difference. Already there is a difference. So, next one. Now this is where it gets interesting. So we're on to the solid tipped versions now. So this next one, this is the solid copper Prometheus tipped one. This, I have no doubt, will zip straight through, most likely. But I could be wrong. It may not have enough weight to actually go through, because it is very, very light. So we'll try this one now. So obviously we're going to go for the fourth one in. There we are. Almost bullseye, look there. Not bad for one hand. Oh, that's very interesting. I can already see that that has not gone all the way through. Look, you can actually see, just about see there, the tip of the pellet. Look, there, the plastic part of the pellet is actually still wedged in the wood. That's quite interesting. Okie dokie. So, next one. This one is the steel-tipped Prometheus pellet. Come on, focus. Focus. Not going to focus, are you? Anyway, this is the steel-tipped one. You can just about see that on there. Try and get the camera to focus. No, not going to work. Anyway, this is the steel-tipped one. So we'll try the steel-tipped Prometheus pellet now. So same kind of speed as the copper one, but a little bit more penetrating power, I think, because steel, I think, is probably a bit heavier than copper. So we'll try this one. That sounded like it went through. I heard a nice little ding at the after that. So that looks like it's probably gone right the way through. Okay, so there we are. We can see the differences so far. Not bad. Right, now on to the interesting one. This one, I know this is definitely going to go all the way through. Definitely. If this doesn't go all the way through, then there's something clearly wrong with the gun. Because there's no way that this one is not going to go all the way through. It's a solid brass tip pellet all the way through, and it's lead as well, so it's got the best of everything. It's got penetrating power, it's got speed, it's got accuracy, it's got weight, it's got everything. So we'll try this one and see what happens. Right, it's really hard to hold this gun with one hand. Right, okay, here we go. Well, that definitely went through, 100%. You heard the bang as it hit the board behind. So there we are. Look at that, look, straight hole through. You can see behind that. Look, see me hand waving behind it. There you go. So that's gone straight through, no problem at all. Right, let's have a look at the damage. Okie dokie. Right. So, the first one, domed pellet. That one there did go all the way through, as you can see. So it has gone all the way through. The next one, that also went all the way through. And the one after that, that definitely went all the way through as well. Ignore this hole here, that's the test shot that I did earlier, so you can ignore that one. But that there all the way went all the way through. Now this was the one where the pellet, look, is still wedged in. So it's knocked a piece of wood out the back, but look at that. There it is. Wedged in there, look. So that did not make it through. There it actually is, look, wedged in the wood. That's interesting. I thought that one would go through. That's quite interesting. But there it is. So, yeah, wedged in the wood. The next one, this was the steel-tipped Prometheus pellet. And this one looks like it has gone all the way through. Yep, there's a nice hole there. Look, that one's definitely gone all the way through. And then, of course, the last one is actually quite a big difference. Look at the size of the hole in this last one. So that was the solid tipped. Look, you can see the daylight through it. Look, this was the solid tipped brass pellet. And look at the difference in the hole. So, brass tip pellet, lead, Prometheus, steel tipped, Prometheus copper tip is the only one that didn't make it all the way through. Is still wedged in the wood. The next one, I can't remember what that one was now. I think that one was the maybe the flat tipped. I'm not sure. Can't remember. Anyway, the rest of them they did go all the way through. Anyway, the first one, the normal domed one, that has done almost as good as the last one, the steel-tipped one. So it just goes to show that sometimes different pellets, the way that they're listed and, you know, speed and accuracy and all that type of thing, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have better accuracy or better impact. But yeah, there we are. So that's quite an interesting little video, I thought. I just thought I'd do that because I was interested myself on different types of pellets and if they really do make the difference that the companies that sell them say they do. And as we can see, they clearly do. Not necessarily make a big difference on accuracy, as we found out, but in terms of penetrating power, they do make a difference. Anyway, there we are. So this is the Schofield 1877 revolving pistol. It's a very nice gun, actually. It's very well made. It's obviously full metal. It's a lovely feel to it as well. It really does feel nice. Obviously, I wouldn't usually be shooting it with one hand. It is quite nose heavy, so shooting it with one hand, if you've got a little bit sweaty palms like I have at the moment, then probably not going to be the best. But for purposes of this video, it was fine, so I'm sure that will be okay. But there we are. I hope that was interesting for people. And like I say, everything is all legal here. The pellets are all legal. The pistol is legal. I think the rules in the UK, as far as pistols and things like this, buying them goes, obviously you have to be over 18. Probably best not to be a nutter as well. You have to have your proof of age with you. You don't have to have them locked away as such, but it is illegal to store them loaded or even with gas in, even if there's no pellets or BBs in it. That is actually illegal to store them like that or transport them like that. But as long as they're empty and the ammunition, the c02, is separate from the gun, then transporting them, so say you want to go around a friend's house, that's fine. As long as you have a place of destination sort of thing, as long as you have a destination to go to, you're not just randomly driving around with it in your car, then that's fine. So if you were to get pulled over by the police and you had that in your car or any other pistol or rifle, as you see there's another rifle here, then that is legal as long as they are in a case, not loaded, not with gas in, and the gas and the pellets are separate, and you have an actual destination of where you're going. As long as you have all of those things, then you are absolutely fine. And that's about it, really. Everything else goes without saying, really. They are not toys. They are still weapons at the end of the day. They're not classified as a firearm, but you definitely wouldn't want to be hit by one, and you wouldn't want to shoot anyone with one, or any kind of animal, for that matter, unless you are hunting. But let's be honest, you're not going to go hunting with something like this. You're going to go hunting with something like that, or another type of rifle. So, yeah, there we go. I hope this video was interesting. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye.